Believe me, the bar training course is as intense as it gets. So when I reflect on my experience, there are so many things I would have changed. So many things I would have done differently in terms of the way I was taking notes, to the books that I was reading, just to the general strategies that I was applying. And that would have saved me so much time. So much so, it would have been the difference between a VC and an outstanding. And that is what we're going to talk about in today's video. Today is the launch of my YouTube channel, so if you're watching this, thank you very much. It's nice to have you on board. My name's Taz and I recently finished the bar course in Manchester on my journey to becoming a barrister in the UK. Now, the reason I've set this channel up is not only to support aspiring solicitors and barristers, but it's also, I kind of want to share my own interests outside of law, which mainly revolve around exploring the nature of our minds through materials, practices and supplements, all of which can optimize and improve our daily experience. So first things first are the books that you're going to be reading, because they're going to absorb the majority of your time on the course. And I remember the very first day the course started for me. It was September the 16th. And the reason I remember that date is because I'll never forget walking through the front door to be greeted by a stack of books that high. And I thought, whoo, this is going to be a long year. And I remember getting my wheelbarrow out and shuttling them to the car, trying to close the boot on them, thinking, okay, I need to deep dive into each of these books, know them like the back of my hand. And honestly, for the first 2 months of the course, I'd gone into all of them to only get to the end of the course to realize that I'd wasted so much time, because 60% of them are just garbage. They're just a waste of time. And it took me to the end to realize there are 3 key books that you need to have your hands on for civil litigation, criminal litigation, and ethics. The first book is for civil litigation, and it's this. It's definitely not this. So for those of you who don't know, this is the white book. And personally, the only thing it did for me was almost put my back out. It weighs around 5 kilograms in weight and should definitely be left at home. And the reason for that is I don't think it's very student friendly. It's more for a practitioner. It's not really aimed at the course. And unlike this, I was told about this book called Prepare to Pass Civil Litigation when I was at a qualifying dinner at the inn. And, I thought, you know what? I'll add this to the list of many books that I'm reading just to give it a try. One of the people who recommended it said it's a must read, especially for civil litigation. And after reading it for 5 minutes, I understood why. The author of this book, and before you ask, no, I'm not taking an affiliate link for this. This is all free of charge. The author, 9 years experience, ex-course teacher for civil litigation. And basically what they've done is they've broken down the syllabus and put it in a very chronological order of the civil litigation process from the beginning of a claim to the very end. Just having that structure to work with really made civil litigation so much clearer for me. There's so many examples in the books, practices, nice little summaries at the end of it, which, especially near revision season, it's great to have. The second is for criminal litigation evidence and sentencing. And I appreciate not everyone will be at BPP. This was actually provided by the course. And before I actually talk about the other book, I just wanted to give a big shout out to this book because it's great. And, I managed to get a decent mark on criminal lit just from this book. But the other book I wanted to talk about is this, Rory Clark. He kind of gives an overview of the criminal litigation process, and it's actually really helpful. For such a short book, he does a good job at giving such a strong overview. So for anyone actually struggling with the criminal litigation procedure and just trying to map it out in your mind, I would highly recommend giving this a read. The third and final thing to get your hands on is this, and what this is from Manchester Metropolitan University, and it's the Professional Ethics Guide. If you've got friends, try and reach out, because this did it for me for ethics and for many people, because at BPP we were just given the ethics manual and said go and prepare for ethics, and it's all over the show, and that structures all the ethical duties in a very nice way that enables you to recall them very well when you're presented scenarios in the exam. So that is an absolute essential. Get your hands on it. If you can't get your hands on it, reach out to me and I'll see what I can do. The next major key to success on the course is to make sure you brush up on your contract and tort before starting the BPTC. That is something I didn't do, and I only realised pretty much from the very first day how entwined contract and tort was going to be on the course. I did my LLB back in 2013, so that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 6 years removed, and without these books, these are Law Express, Contract, Tort and Criminal. These brought me back up to speed real quick. I'm sure you've seen them before when you were studying for your undergrad. So yeah, highly recommend these, and you can progress onto practitioner's text whilst you're on the course. Next, I want to talk about notes. I remember being so overwhelmed at one point. Like, just, you're trying to take notes for everything, right? So you've got like 4 or 5 modules, absolute pages and pages to get through. I remember calling up transcribing service saying I need X, Y, and Z transcribing because I just didn't have time to even type up the notes, and they charged something ridiculous, like £120 for like 30 pages, something like that. I thought, okay, that's just not an avenue. So I went to meet a friend for a coffee, and she gave me a bit of advice, which was go online and buy some notes. And I thought, what? So I went online, I researched who were providing notes for the course, and there's a website called Oxbridge Uni Notes. They do incredible BTC notes and LPC notes, and it's although they're expensive, I think I spent £180, maybe £200 for the full course notes. Honestly, they were worth every penny. Make sure you have a robust filing system, because if you're not on top of it, things can get out of hand real quick. And don't do what I did, which was buy the small files, get the big meaty ones from Ryman's, and you're going to need a lot of them. In terms of your outside commitments on the course, you really need to manage them well, because some students on the course will be doing 3 or 4 extracurricular activities. They'll be running a law clinic. They'll be trying to get off 25 pupillage applications in the year. And before you know it, you're overwhelmed. And remember, you can only get one shot at the bar course. You know, you can apply and do a mini pupillage before or after the course. That's not to say don't do them on the course. It's just a case of being very conscious that every pupillage application you fill out, hopefully that's going to be an interview preparation. The application itself is going to take X amount of time. So you want to be really clinical with your time, and you're calculating that X amount of applications is going to take X amount of time. This mini pupillage is going to eat up this many days, because really on the bar course, every day matters. I'm going to save you a lot of heartache by telling you right now that there's a myth out there, and it's called consolidation. That caused me so much anxiety and stress over the course of the year, because every seminar you're going into, the tutors are saying, make sure you consolidate, make sure you consolidate. There's no time to consolidate. Everyone knows it, so don't worry about it. Spend your time as much as you can preparing for the seminar that you have, and when that's over, you prepare for the next and the next and the next, and before you know it, the exams will be right there, and you'll find out there's been no time to consolidate. That doesn't mean you won't find windows throughout the year where you can catch up on revision, things that you've missed, but in terms of doing like a detailed consolidation on every seminar, honestly, I'm telling you right now, there is no time for that. And you don't take my word for it, you'll wait and see. And I'm going to end on a great piece of advice from one of my tutors on the course, which was, when exam season comes around and you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exams back to back to back, the best thing that you can have is the post-exam amnesia. You go in, you do the exam, and you completely forget about it. Don't even let it linger. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found that useful, but make sure to let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to support the channel, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. And other than that, guys, I'll see you at the next one.